Welcome back into the Veterans Memorial Gymnasium, everyone. JJ Sylvia, Carter Sylvia, along with you for Somerset Access TV, Berkeley Community Access TV, and of course Blue Raider Studios on YouTube. And Carter, the 4-3 Dighton Rehoboth Falcons coming in to take on the 3-3 Raiders. Both these teams near 500 in conference play, but this is a huge conference game, as it always is every year.
Yeah, for sure, John. This is one of the biggest rivalries in the SEC, and tonight I expect a big one here.
And Carter, we were talking about it during pregame. Dom Taylor looked really good during warm-ups, barely missed any shots. We should be looking for a big game out of him tonight, having to match a pretty big villain, even though he used to play here. Now being on the other side, Josh Reedy's going to put up a big fight tonight.
Yeah, Josh Reedy put in the Taunton Gazette for Athlete Player of the Week alongside myself. But yes, Josh Reedy's been very good so far this season, and Dom Taylor's going to have his hands full guarding him here tonight.
Raiders and Falcons about to do battle as we head down to the court for player introductions and the national anthem. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
For the starting lineups, first of the visitors from Dighton, Rehoboth. After number 2, number 3, Rehoboth. After number 2, number 5, Patrick McCann. After number 2, number 10, Max Mendoza. After number 2, number 22, Jack Horrocks.
It is a rivalry renewed once again here at the Vet as we rejoin you inside a packed house tonight here in Somerset. And Carter, every year we talk about this Somerset Berkley versus Dighton Rehoboth rivalry. You said it in the pregame, it doesn't get much better than this in the SEC, but I think there's a little bit more of a, shall I say, new story to this year's rivalry matchup, considering the changes on one particular side of the court.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Josh Reedy, a former Somerset player, now on DR and one of the star players on the team. So it's going to be interesting to see the battle between him and Dom Taylor, who grew up together playing basketball on the courts of the Berkeley Common.
Let's meet the starting lineups first for the visiting Dighton Rehoboth Falcons. It'll be Josh Reedy, Cole Viveros, Patrick McCann, Maddox Mendoza, and Jack Horrocks as the 5. And then it's the usual for Somerset Berkley: Crook, Lambert, Duker, and Rayum, and Dom Taylor, who will take the tip here against Horrocks. Taylor the win. And here we go. A blackout crowd of student fans in attendance tonight for this one. One of the largest crowds I've seen on this young season. Lambert for Crook. And now Dom Taylor, he was taking him in warm-ups, and he hits it here.
Great shot there by Dom Taylor. That's a huge start for the Raiders, putting them up 3-0 early.
Number 3 very clearly stepped out of bounds, and now they're going to make the call on it. Not sure how they missed Viveros doing that there, but they did correct their wrongs.
Looks like the pressure's getting to the Falcons early. I mean, there's a lot of noise here in this gymnasium, and it can cause you to make a lot of mistakes.
Inbound from Rayum to Lambert. Raiders looking for another fast start here on home court to match last home effort. Dom Taylor make it 2 in a row to get us started. And a quick timeout for Bill Cuthbertson, the 24-year man, already questioning his choices at the start of this one.
Can't leave Dom Taylor open in the corner or anywhere outside the arc. It's pretty much automatic when he's given any separation, and the Raiders have a great start here.
Quick break for Carter Sylvia and I. We'll be right back. Out of the first time out of this one, Just a hair over half a minute gone in this game, Carter. Bill Cuthbertson already had to burn one of his timeouts as the head coach for Dighton Rehoboth. What do you think his mindset was on why he made that decision to call time?
He had to slow down the pace of the game. He had to slow down the pace of the game, John. The game was getting away from him really quick, just in the first 30 seconds of the game. So that was a smart timeout, trying just to regroup his team and the emotions get together.
Dom Taylor already with 6 points. He had a fast start of nearly 10 in the first quarter of Somerset Berkley's last home matchup, and that one will be called against Dighton Rehoboth and give possession back to Somerset Berkley.
And already 2 turnovers early for the Falcons here, so they really got to pick that up and watch for the sideline as they stepped out of bounds twice already.
Graham will give to Lambert. Good ball movement, and Dukrin with the finish.
Just great ball movement there, finding Aiden Dukrin in the middle, and he had a wide open way to the rim. Nice finish by Dukrin.
Reedy was swarmed by Crook, able to give it up. Dighton Rehoboth seeks something. Down already 8-0. Maddox Mendoza, a star both on the football field and on the basketball court for Dighton Rehoboth, and throwing that one out of bounds off of a Raider, and Rayum is Patrick McCann. It'll stay with Dighton Rehoboth with 11 seconds on the shot clock.
John, the Raiders aggressive early here on defense. Constant double teams on Reedy and Mendoza, and it's causing a lot of problems for the offense.
Last year, Carter, we saw mostly Dom Taylor assigned to guarding Josh Reedy. Right now, it seems actually Ryan Crook being the one chosen. And Dom Taylor with the steal nonetheless. He will be fouled as he slides forward towards half court. But yes, as I was saying, Carter, Ryan Crook seems to be the one trusted with going one-on-one against Josh Reedy to start this one. That's a bold move for Chris Mendes.
Yeah, but Ryan Crook, we know how good of an athlete he is, and if there was anyone to guard Josh Reedy, I'll bet my money Ryan Crook would be doing a great job.
6 to play in this fast start. Rayum, there it is. The beat keeps on coming. 11-0.
Wow, Caden Rayum on fire here to start. Let him get one shot. Ooh, and that Josh Reedy makes the 3 to cut the lead to 8.
Right in Crook's face. That's a big bucket for Josh Reedy. Rayum can't answer. Mendoza the board. Mendoza trying to drive, rammed in to Lambert. The foul's going to go against Tenon White. So glad you could join all of us tonight on whatever feed you are watching from. Another year of a storied basketball rivalry and another travel call against the Falcons. And I don't think he can do that, Carter. Lambert for Crook. And now Rayum, 2 in a row. Just wide to the right. Dukrin looking like he has the board. It's rattling around on the deck, and it will stay with Somerset Berkley. So much action in this one, and we're still not even 3 minutes in to this game. Bill Cuthbertson, known for being vocal with the officials, making sure to give his 2 cents. Lambert inbounding. Goes for Rayum. Caden backtracking against Mendoza will start a swing all the way to the other side, and now back. Rayum, baseline drive, up and under. Can't get the circus shot to go. And now up the floor comes Kensley Massine. Massine For Mendoza, the pass fake. Mendoza into the lane. Can't get the roll. Raiders look to push the floor.
Great moves there by Mendoza, really creating space for himself. Just couldn't find the finish.
Dukran underneath the basket. He's been stellar in that area this season. Lambert for Rayum. Yes, sir!
Caden Rayum just finding any space, and him and Dom Taylor are lethal from outside the arc.
And Carter, I hate to bring up the past so much, but I remember you and I were having conversations in the summer after we got the pleasure of calling the state championship run for Somerset Berkley last season. We had our concerns about where the scoring was going to come from with this new team of only having Dom Taylor and Caden Rayum remaining from last year's squad, but it doesn't seem the Raiders have much concern in their eyes, and neither does head coach Chris Mendes.
No, I mean, those two have been really solid to start here, and they haven't had Rayum for most of the season so far.
Another alley-oop try as they look to get Dom Taylor a Finn Bjork-esque highlight to add to his tape, but both times the Raiders have tried that on this young season. They have been unsuccessful. I'll be interested to see if that ever changes over the course of the season, because Carter, I doubt that's the last time they'll try it.
No, Dom Taylor's such a good athlete, and we've seen him dunk in games, so I agree with you, John. This may not be the last time we'll see that.
Machine barely keeping it in bounds, and a foul away from the ball as Ryan Crook was tied up with Reedy. And now Chris Mendes giving his thoughts. And this is an interesting matchup tonight in the perspective of Mendes, Carter, because he's facing a guy in Cuthbertson who's been around for so long that even Cuthbertson was still coaching when Mendes was a player for Somerset Berkley. So this is something where he might have a chance to maybe even learn at the feet after the air ball there, but also he could try to match the intensity and energy that Cuthbertson can bring every given night.
Yeah, for sure, John. And Mendes has done a great job so far as his tenure as head coach of the Raiders, especially having big shoes to fill after Coach Slater retired, but Mendes has done a great job so far.
Lambert with under 3.5 left in quarter one. Another Rayum three-point try comes up short. Dukran for Lambert, the shot fake, and now Crook for three. That one strong. Falcons the other way in a hurry. Mendoza all the way.
Mendoza doing a really great job here, and so far we have, besides one Josh Reedy three, we have not seen a lot of him so far here in this first quarter.
Crook for Rayum, and now Lambert. He'll take the three and come up short. Josh Reedy behind the back. Dribble went off his foot. It'll stay with Somerset Berkley. Looks like a Raider got a hand in there. A couple substitutes will check in for the boys in white. J.J. Court checking into the ball game along with Carson Crisafulli and Ben Loro. Taylor and Rayum remain up top. Three-pointer Mendoza nearly rolled, but Taylor has the defensive board. Dom spot up, strong. Ben Loro the board. Now Rayum will try. Also the same result. Messine, the hop step into the lane, can't go off glass, and a foul called.
And for the Falcons early here, it's really just been a lack of efficiency. They really have not been able to knock down a lot of shots, especially in and around the basket. They really got to find a way to make their layups and just get some buckets on the board, because it's not been a good start for them so far.
Crisafulli starts the rotation. Dom Taylor in the corner. Won't get it to go. So a hit or miss start from three-point land for the Raiders, and Josh Reedy having similar luck. Rayum looking to go end-to-end. blast off him and Falcon ball. So after the scoring really picked up in a rapid way for the Raiders at the start of this game, Carter, we see it slow down a bit as we inch toward the end of quarter one.
Yeah, I mean, the Falcons have seemed to adjusted to the Raiders' scheme, and they've really played some good defense out here, putting a lot of unease on Dom Taylor.
Mendoza will be fouled as he headed toward the basket and looked to put it up. Dom Taylor did block it away, but nonetheless, first set of free throws. Mendoza will make the first. Sassman in for Rayoum, as Dom Taylor remains the lone Raider starter out on the floor for Chris Mendes. Mendoza will make the second. Chris Foley to bring it up. Under 90 seconds before we take our first quarter break. Ben Loro can't get it to go. Rebound battled for Reedy, trying to come out of the fray with it. Foul was called in that area, and it's going to be on Chris Foley. Raiders are in the bonus, so Reedy will shoot. And Carter, for Josh Reedy, the story is the same this time around, at least at the start, as it was last time we saw him here at the Vet. He's really trying to ignite a flame under his team early in this game, as that three-pointer that he made earlier, and also playing some good defense and getting a little chippy in his matchup one-on-one against Ryan Crook. I like the intensity to start from zero. Yeah, and that's the type of player he is. He brings a lot of intensity into the game. He also brings a lot of undisciplined actions in the game as well. He's gotten into fights. He's gotten into a lot of issues that brought his team, but he really brings the energy for the Falcons. And a Somerset Berkley lead that was nearing double digits in the mid-portion of this quarter is now down 2-5, 14-9. Chris Foley up top, Sassman. Over to the far side, three-pointer, J.J. Court. No. Chris Foley at the board, slapped out of his hand by Messine. Josh Reedy, a quasi-dunk.
There we go, Josh Reedy, igniting the flame, like you said, John, with the nice dunk.
Three-point game, under a minute to play. Sassman for Chris Foley, nearly picked off. Raiders do have it. Ben Loro on the drive. Yes, sir, and the foul.
Great job by Ben Loro, asserting himself into the game with a nice and one, driving in from below the basket.
Fouls on Maddox Mendoza. That's his second already. And Mendoza, even last year, coming into this year as well, one of the vital parts of this starting five for the Dighton Rehoboth Falcons. So him being in foul trouble is a worst-case scenario for Bill Cuthbertson. Give Loro all three. Falcons inbounding into a full-court press. Mello for Mendoza, and now Messine in the corner on the drive. That one got ripped out of his hands. Sassman has the loose ball. Chris Foley trying to bounce pass it for J.J. Court. One off a foot of a Falcon. Inbound straight to Loro, and the Raiders rotate. Chris Foley, the three. Short. Dom Taylor, the O board for Sassman. He'll try. That one won't go either, as the quarter comes to an end with Somerset Berkley and Dighton Rehoboth locked in a 17-11 grudge match in what should be one of the more tightly matched games of both teams' conference plays.
Yeah, for sure, John. This was a really good first quarter. The Raiders jumped out to an early start, a great start at that, with a double-digit lead, and then the scoring kind of dwindled, and now the Falcons are clawing back, trying to tie this game up. Now they're only down 6. They have a chance. This is a very tight, contested ball game.
Will Dom Taylor and Caden Rayum continue to push the Raiders forward, or can Josh Reedy lead a comeback for the Falcons in the second quarter? Only time will tell. Short break, and Carter Sylvia and I will be right back. Do not go anywhere. And here we go, start of the second quarter here at the vet, with the inbound going to Maddox Mendoza, 17-11 Raider lead, piloted by some leading scoring efforts from Dom Taylor and Caden Rayum. And pacing the Falcons is Josh Reedy. Mendoza running into JJ Court. Foul is going to be on JJ. Kensley Messine to inbound. A swing around. Mendoza wide. And short, for that matter. Dom Taylor giving way to Chris Foley. Garson will give and go with Lauro, and Chris Foley will try a second three-pointer. That one also unsuccessful. Mendoza called for the travel as he tried to break away from Court and Dom Taylor, so it'll go right back to Raider ball.
And that's just some costly turnovers that cannot happen. That's the second travel for Mendoza here in the first half. He's got to clean that up in order for his team to come out on top in this ball game.
Almost a minute gone, and neither side able to put a bucket in here in quarter two. Rayum looking to change that. He will. Caden Rayum coming up with some big three-point tries here in quarter number 1 and 2, Carter.
Great job by Caden Rayum there, selling the fake with excellence and just finding the open space and drains the three.
And Reedy stepping out of bounds as this time Chris Foley had him pinned in the corner.
Great job there by Carson Chris Foley. He's been out for a while, John, but looks like in his return he's been playing some great defense, especially on one of the best players on the team in Josh Reedy.
Raiders look to build a familiar cushion. Reedy this time gets the steal, lunging in front of it as it went toward Rayum, and Rayum will foul him as he headed towards a wide open bucket. Foul is on Rayum, and that's his first. And Josh Reedy at the line shooting 2. He's got number 1. Lambert back in to give Chris Foley a rest after a strong effort off the bench. And now the lead is 7 for White. And here come Mendy's boys with him barking orders from the bench. Rayum for Taylor on the slash, and now Lauro the corner 3. He got fouled despite the miss, and that'll be 3 free throws.
Yeah, that's another costly foul for Mendoza. The discipline has not been done for him there tonight, and that's costly for the team as this can put the Raiders up 10 points if all 3 flows are made.
Ben Lauro, one of many players off of Chris Mendes' bench that has shocked us in many positive ways, Carter, in the early portion of the season. How much of credit should Mendes get, Carter, for the prowess and contributions that have been coming from his bench players outside of just that starting 5?
I mean, John, these players were on JV last season developing, and Mendes was a big part of their development, and now they're on varsity, they're developing even more. So Mendes gets a lot of credit, but also to the players who have just stepped up in bigger roles this season.
Lauro will miss the third, so only successful on 1, and now Reedy for Messine. Kensley Messine going back. Viveros giving and going with Messine. Good passing, but no open shooters, and coughing it up is Mello. That one heading towards the Raiders student fan section with Lambert chasing it. It'll stay. Raider ball.
Good job there by Owen Lambert, being alert, picking up that ball and drawing a foul.
Lambert for Dom Taylor. He'll drive and dish outside. Rehoboth had to catch it on a low pass, so Raiders will rotate it. Dukran for Loro. Cutting baseline, missed it, got his own board and got blocked. And a vicious one at that by Vasco Gamboa. Gamboa, one of the tallest players among both teams on the floor tonight. I'm sure that won't be his only block as he gives and goes. That one sent down low towards Messine. It got ricocheted away, and now the Raiders come in their offensive direction. Rehoboth gets the pick from Taylor. He'll drive, float, no rule. Rehoboth fighting for a second chance, but preventing him from getting that is Eric Mello. Mello, the bounce pass. Reedy to the corner. Messine can't convert. Board skips out into the hands of Lambert. Dom Taylor trying to shake Messine. He can't, so he gives it up. Lambert, the bounce pass. Rehoboth, the up and under.
Great ball movement by the Raiders there. Owen Lambert finding the pass and great finish by Caden Rehoboth on the up and under.
And another near steal from a Raider press cutter that just seems to be something that I'm sure is practiced from freshman to JV to varsity level, because it seems no matter what player you plug in for the boys in white, they are able to run that full court press to a T.
Yeah, for sure, John. And Aiden Dukran's been the catalyst of that defense so far this season.
Josh Reedy, pretty much double teamed by Court and Taylor. Reedy has it stripped out of his hand by Taylor, and Court will take the loose ball. JJ Court can't convert. Court had the O board. They'll push it outside. Lambert wide. Court has it again. Now Dom Taylor. Nope. And grabbing the board before shoving away JJ Court was Cole Viveros. He'll be called for a foul. Actually, pardon me, that was on Rehoboth. And Caden Rehoboth is absolutely perplexed. I'm sure Chris Mendes wants an explanation for that one, Carter. Mendes doesn't like whatever he just heard from the men in black and white stripes.
There was a lot going on under the rim there, John. I couldn't really tell who the foul is on, Rehoboth or on the Falcons. Initially, I thought it was on Cole Viveros for the push, but really tough to tell, and it looks like the Falcons called a timeout, but we'll see.
Refs will deliberate during this pause. Carter Sylvia and I will do the same. Out of the timeout, the decision has been made, Carter, so it was a foul against Caden Rehoboth. By some stretch of the imagination, it'll be DR ball. Mello had that one stripped from behind by his number partner, Dukran. It's out of bounds up into the bleachers. Dukran had to give a thumbs up to the crowd, make sure somebody who got hit with the ball in there was okay.
Yeah, the Raiders came out with some aggression on the full court press there, really not allowing any separation.
Reedy giving and going with Viveros. Reedy all the way across the floor. Mello, the hop step into the lane. Travel. My, oh my, has the travel bug been prominent today for the Falcons, Carter?
Yeah, for sure, John. I mean, all over the place. It seems like every other possession that the Falcons have on offense, they're turning over the ball with the travel, so they really got to figure that out.
Taylor stuck in a double team for Dukran, just in front of the free throw line. Bit strong.
That's just
Board for Viveros. And now Messine. Back for Viveros. Dighton Rehoboth looking to set up a cutting pass, but the Raiders zone making sure that's nearly impossible. Messine trapped outside. Mello for Reedy, the spin move and the finish.
Great job there by Josh Reed, doing the spin move and leaving himself a wide open, easy lay.
2.5 to play before we take our halftime break. Lambert for Dukran, and now J.J. Court. In and out. Dom Taylor nearly ripping it right out of the hands of Jack Horrocks, but it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Raider leader. A very low scoring first half for the most part, Carter, only 23-15. Both these teams have shown the ability to pack a lot of points on. Not really the case for either of them early in this one.
No, it's been a lot of good defensive battle. At the start of the first quarter, there was a lot of offense, a lot of scoring, a lot of threes. But now it's stalled. But maybe in the second half, we'll see it pick up back again, because the intensity is only going to ramp up from here.
2 minutes and 12 seconds left. Raum inbounding. And he'll get the ball back in his hands. Now Taylor. Lambert for Crook, back to Lambert. Good passing. Raiders making DR work hard defensively. Last touch was by Somerset Berkley as it goes out off the miss. Three-pointer coming up short. Falcons looking to keep the O board. They cannot. Call against Reedy.
Hopefully, John, we can see some more scoring here, because this second half has been kind of stale in terms of scoring, but hopefully Dom Taylor, Caden Raum can dream a big three here and get that momentum back up.
1 minute and 37 seconds left. And Dom Taylor will head to the free throw line, looking to tack on a few more to the Raider lead. He'll clank the first one back rim. Taylor will look to salvage at least one. And he's got it. Dighton Rehoboth down by 9, 24-15. Seeking a way to shift the momentum here at the end of the half. Reedy. And Mello stepping in and floating. Some nice footwork and finish work there for Mello, Carter.
Yeah, great job there by Mello. That floater was fantastic. Just rolled right off the fingers very well and found some open space and made a nice lay.
Crook unable to get that one to drop. 1 minute left. Messine driving, tried to throw it off Dukran. It stayed in bounds, skipping all the way to Viveros. Now back all the way across the floor over the head of Messine and out of bounds with 55.5 left to go. And if 5 is your lucky number, you might want to play a lottery ticket tonight. Lambert for Crook. Taylor's glued to by Messine, but still gets the ball. Lambert once more. A slow, methodical approach by the Raiders offensively here in the back half of this first. Raum for Taylor. Able to shake Mason and make it. Looks like a foul was called after the play. The basket will count, though. So another tray to Dom Taylor's credit. Yeah, once again, an early leading scorer in this one for the Raiders.
Yeah, it's been kind of cold here in this second quarter, but that three will really put some momentum in the Raiders' favor, putting their lead back up in double digits.
Shot clock is off. Falcons have the rest if they need it, but Messine says that is not what we need. Only a few seconds is good for us. 10 on the clock. Taylor nearly had it taken. He kept it. Shot fake. Taylor! No. And a foul as Dukran and Viveros collide, fighting for that rebound. Stops the clock with 1.2 left in the half.
Yeah, very interesting foul there, John. But these are some crucial 2 points they may be able to get if they're made. That'll make it close to a 5-point lead going into half.
Viveros at the line to shoot. First one goes. And be sure to stick with us. Once the buzzer goes off, we'll have a special guest up here on the walking track with us. Former Raiders head coach and state champion Bob Slater will join us. But right now, still 1.2 on the clock. 27-21 Raiders, and Viveros can add another. Dukran, not even close. 27-21 in favor of the Raiders. Let's welcome in former head coach Bob Slater into the walking track with us. Coach Slater, it's such a pleasure to have you here with us. I'm sure, as the former head coach for so long here at Somerset Berkley, it's bittersweet, but also enjoyable at the same time to be back here at the MAC.
Yeah, Coach Mendes does a great job with the kids. He was a big help for the last 4 or 5 years for us, and he's going to do a good job here. He already is doing a good job, so yeah, it's a lot of fun to watch.
And to talk about Mendes doing his job, how much of an impact and influence do you think you had on the way Chris Mendes coaches now?
Well, when Chris came aboard, I wanted him to talk because he has so much experience between coaching high school, playing high school, playing prep school, playing in college. So I pretty much gave him a lot of, I told him to say anything, do anything, talk about anything with the kids. He has a really good rapport with the kids. And he was big in practice because he could still go out there and play with the kids, whereas us old guys can't do it anymore.
And Coach Slater, I know you're probably still mentally in coach mode no matter where you go. What's the thing that you saw from the Raiders that they need to improve on from this first half?
Not to foul with 2 seconds left and pick up your third foul. I think they're doing fine. They play with a lot of hustle, and if you make a mistake, we've always said if you make a mistake, you make it at 100%. So I think they're doing fine.
Carter, any questions for the legend?
How do you feel about this team this year? Obviously you lose a lot of guys. Only two returning in Rayum and Dom Taylor, but honestly, I've been impressed with what I've seen so far. How about you?
Oh, absolutely. And Dom knew he was going to get the defense that he is. Like, everybody's trying to stop him. But the great thing is we've had so many kids step up and fill the offensive role, so Dom doesn't have to do everything. And Caden is a shooter. Ryan Crook's playing well. They're all hustling. They're all playing the way they need to be successful.
An absolute pleasure to have Bob Slater with us. Thank you so much. Stay tuned as we look towards the second half here on Somerset Access TV, Berkeley Community Access TV, and Blue Raider Studios. Second half underway here at the Veterans Memorial Gymnasium. JJ Sylvia, Carter Sylvia back with you. And Owen Lambert getting the feed from Rayum, and now Dukran back to Rayum. He'll drive and float and make. And Carter, after a low-scoring first half for both teams, I think an offensive rhythm is the goal for either side coming into half two.
Yeah, great start there for Caden Rayum, just finding a little bit into space and doing a nice floater for a nice bucket.
Viveros able to shake Lambert with a behind-the-back dribble, and he'll finish.
Back-to-back floaters. It seems like whatever the Raiders do, the Falcons are now responding.
Crook for Lambert. Free throw line. Strong. Don Taylor tips it out to Crook. Crook cannot convert. Macy going out, and now now both teams start to go cold. Lambert. Once again, it's Ryan Crook and now Dukran. For Rehoboth, Crook floats short as he was defended by Horrocks. Reedy on the other end, yes.
Despite the contact, Josh Reedy finds the ball and spins around, and that's a very nice lay for Josh Reedy, and that puts the lead within 4.
Ryan Crook had the screen from Rehoboth, but the Raiders will cycle it. Dukran traveled.
It looks like the momentum shifting towards the Falcons despite that early bucket by Rehoboth. The Falcons are really responding well.
Mendoza for Messine. Underneath the basket, dumping it off. Horrocks back for Messine. Dukran getting his hand up against both of those shot fakes. Finally, he comes away with the board and gets fouled.
Yeah, good defense there by the Raiders, and obviously a great job there by Aiden Dukran, who has been the defensive catalyst for this Raider team, especially on picking up rebounds and getting steals.
Lambert giving and going with Crook. Now down low, and Dukran has an easy finish.
Great job there by Owen Lambert, kind of quarterbacking the play up top there, but beyond the arc, and great job there by finding Aiden Dukran wide open for an easy lay.
Maddox Mendoza gets the screen from Horrocks. He'll take the 3 and make the 3. Maddox Mendoza.
Great job there by Maddox Mendoza, using the screen to his advantage, and that's just a great shot. And that's what the Falcons needed to bring the lead down to 3.
Rehoboth, guarded by Mendoza, went off of him and out of bounds. With exactly 5 minutes left in this third of 4 quarters tonight here at the Vet. Rehoboth for Crook, and then Dukran sent away. Reedy and Mendoza getting fingertips and hands in there.
Great job there by Josh Reedy, just reading the play and seeing that Aiden Dukran had space open, but to no prevail as Reedy swats it away.
Crook to inbound for Lambert. Now Dukran back to number 10. Rehoboth will take the 3 from the wing and convert.
Caden Rehoboth has been money here tonight, and that was a one from deep. Nice job there by Caden Rehoboth.
Maddox Mendoza could not shake Ryan Crook. He'll go up for Messine. He cannot match. Somerset Berkley up 34-28, a 6-point advantage that they look to get back towards double digits the way it was early in quarter 1. Rehoboth to get it away to Lambert using the Dom Taylor screen. He'll pull up, but put a bit too much force on it. Mendoza for Messine, driving on Dukran, and Kensley Messine with the tough finish.
Great job there by Messine. He just really was trying to find the space, shimmying through the defense, and that was a great job there.
That one tipped up by Reedy, and Crook tried to grab it and went out of bounds. And a 4-point game that could be down to 1 possession after this offensive push forward for Dighton Rehoboth that will come following this timeout that Carter and I will take. We will see you very soon. Out of the timeout, a lead for the Raiders that was once double digits is down to just 4, and what is turning into a barn burner here in the second half at the Veterans Memorial Gymnasium. Mendoza. For Reedy and now Messine. Kensley going back for Josh Reedy, the former Raider. Guarded now by Dom Taylor, much like we were used to seeing last season. Kensley Messine lost in a sea of white. Jump ball call, possession arrow favoring Dighton Rehoboth. Raiders trying to go above 500 in this game today. If they can get the win, they stand at 3-3 overall and 2-2 in conference. Facing a DR team that's 4-3. Messine continuing his struggles from beyond the arc. Rehoboth stayed in bounds. Now Lambert. Weighing his options. Gives to Crisafulli and now Rehoboth. No options, so it's back for a reset with Lambert. Crisafulli into the lane for Dukrin, going high off glass. That won't go. Josh Reedy, the board and push.
Great defense in tight there on Aiden Dukrin. Even though he got the space, they got hands up in a flash. Great defense there by the Falcons.
And that three-pointer will fall from Cole Viveros. And it is a 1-point game with under 2.5 to play before we head to the fourth quarter. Rehoboth for Lambert. Back to Caden Rehoboth for three. Wide left. Maddox Mendoza the board. Mendoza long pass for Messine. Back to Mendoza. Shot fake. Drive. Messine. Corner three. In and out.
The Raiders really need some offense here. They're kind of losing the momentum, seeing it slip away, but they still have a 1-point lead.
Rehoboth once again cannot convert. Both teams having their struggles in this one, but no struggle for Maddox Mendoza there. And the Falcons soaring into the lead.
And piggybacks behind the great play of Maddox Mendoza here in this third quarter.
Lambert, the high arcer, will not drop. And the Falcons with a chance to really deal a momentum-shifting blow to the Raiders on this possession. That one fed into the paint. Reedy somehow came away with it. He's getting help from Horrocks. It will stay with the Falcons as it goes out. Morrow and Sassman to check in. Lambert and Rehoboth to the bench. So it's Loro, Dukrin, Taylor, Sassman, and Crisafulli on the floor for the Raiders. And then it's Reedy, Viveros, Mendoza, Messine, and Horrocks for Bill Cuthbertson's Falcons. Under a minute to play in the quarter. Inbounding is Viveros. He gets it to Mendoza. Maddox Mendoza into another pool of bodies. Foul drawn. And Mendoza looking like he will be potentially receiving an inbound from Viveros.
It looks like the Raiders are really not trying on Mendoza to get any separation as he's really hot here in this third quarter.
Josh Reedy, yes! And that fires up the DR faithful. 5-point lead. Sassman stuck with no more steps to take. Going across court, Crisafulli was looking to cut. It's over his head. What is happening to the Raiders right now, Carter?
Looks like the pressure is starting to crumble them a little bit. Turnovers and sloppy plays are really taking over for them in this game. And now the Falcons have flipped the script and have a lead by 5 with 33 seconds left.
Reedy driving and finishing. Holy moly, Josh Reedy. Shot clock's off. Raiders have all of it if they need it. Court for Loro and Dukrin. The bounce pass for Crisafulli. It will not roll. 6 seconds and 5. Josh Reedy driving. Won't go. Dukrin had it go off of him as he was standing just out of bounds, and with 0.4 seconds left, the Falcons will inbound, with pretty much the only option being a catch and shoot. Let's see. I would
assume this ball would go to Josh Reedy, if anything else.
That's what I was just about to say. Let's see who it goes to. And Carter, you might be right. Mendoza Trying to go in for Reedy. Taylor swatted it away, and the buzzer sounds, bringing us into our third quarter break. Fourth quarter about to come with the Raiders down 41-34 to the visiting DR Falcons. We'll be right back. The final 8 minutes typed up on to the clock. And the Dighton Rehoboth Falcons have laid a shock into this home Somerset Berkley crowd. So far tonight, they are up 41-34. It is a 7-point advantage. Raiders need to find a way to chip at it and get themselves back in the lead, which they were in for most of this game until the very end of quarter 3. Dom Taylor in a double team. I don't think he's going to see much else the rest of the night. Chris Foley on the other side of the court watches his floater go in and out.
Great ball movement there by the Raiders. Just unlucky that the finish didn't fall.
Mendoza gets court in the air, goes across the court. Hensley Messine back across Mendoza, and now a corner 3 coming from Viveros. No give. They're looking to get it up for Dom Taylor. He keeps it in bounds on a near scare, and Crook will now bring it up.
Very risky play there, John. That could really result in a bad turnover.
Ball's on the floor, and somehow the Raiders keep it. Dom Taylor, no. Board for Mendoza. He'll look to push the floor quick with numbers up ahead. The pass for Viveros, the bounce pass, and Reedy with the finish.
And the Falcons are just pouring it on right now. Just fast sequences of points, and the Raiders can't respond.
Largest lead of the night for the Falcons at 9, and another Raider turnover as Crook could not make a clean connection with Dukran. J.J. Cord is out, Rehoboth is back in. Raiders are going to need some big buckets from 12 down the stretch if they want to come back, Carter.
Yeah, for sure, John, and we need those. They need those 3-pointers that Rehoboth was providing in the first quarter, but right now they haven't been falling here in the third and fourth.
Messine, another beautiful hop step move to get underneath the basket. He cannot finish, and it will be SB ball as it goes out. Only 6.5 left to play. And Caden Rehoboth will look to feed. Rehoboth for 3. He got it! Caden Rehoboth.
And that was a huge 3 for Caden Rehoboth, now bringing the lead back down into single digits. This is going to be really big for the Raiders down the stretch.
Falcons break half court. Mendoza will give and go with Hensley Messine. 2 multi-sport student athletes who are legendary in their class, making sure Josh Reedy is able to get the ball and score.
Yeah, Josh Reedy's really been really great in this second half, and he's just finding any way to score layups, threes, no matter what he can do.
Taylor will come up strong on that one. Dukran the board, and now Chris Foley. Carson back for Taylor. He got it.
Great job there by Dom Taylor, not being fazed by the missed shot, getting back into the play, accepting the pass from Chris Foley and finding a nice play.
Long pass up the floor. Reedy. Dukran got a hand in there. Now Crook for Rehoboth. His 3-pointer. Bang! Caden Rehoboth from downtown. It's a 3-point game. And a timeout for Bill Cuthbertson. Don't go anywhere. Carter Sylvia and I surely won't. 5:22 remaining as we return. Inbounding is Viveros. And Mendoza double teamed after he got the inbound. Somehow got it away to Reedy, who goes back for Maddox. Mendoza, he traveled. Oh my! Not the time you want to make that blunder, Carter.
No, that's a huge blunder for Maddox Mendoza, and those travels were costly in the first half, and they've kind of been dwindled in the second, but that's a big one there.
Rehoboth will inbound to Chris Foley. All 5 starters on the floor, except for 1 for both sides, and Crook will come up short as he tried to even the score. Reedy, also short. That second chance opportunity won't go for Horrocks either. Ball's on the deck. Taylor lost it. And now Mendoza for three. No. Horrocks fighting for the board, and it's against him on the call. Listen to this crowd. Carter, you have to love the atmosphere in this building right now.
What did I say before the game, John? We were talking about it earlier, that this crowd is going to be a huge part of this ball game, and it did not disappoint.
Crook off a ricochet, gets it back to Rehoboth. Dukran continues the spreading of the perimeter, and now inside Crisafulli, back for Rehoboth. Fakes. Going back once more, now to the side. Crook can't convert. Taylor slaps the board back out to Rehoboth. Behind the back for Crisafulli. Driving in. That layup came up well short, and Josh Reedy has it. Giving way to Mendoza. Maddox Mendoza, who played a little bit of quarterback for Dighton Rehoboth football this past fall, will give way for a three-pointer that comes up short for Colviveros. His number partner Crook will push it up for Dom Taylor. Taylor through the lane, didn't get enough roll and spin on that ball. It remains a three-point Falcon lead. Getting his hand in there was Crisafulli. It went off of Maddox Mendoza and out of bounds.
Great defense there. Just getting a hand on that ball can cause a lot of problems for Mendoza, and he kicks the ball out of bounds, and that's a huge turnover for the Raiders.
Carson Crisafulli getting some of the largest amounts of playing time he's ever had in his high school career. Finds Crook, and now Rehoboth. Can he do it again? No, he cannot. Reedy looking to build on DR's three-point lead. Once again, Viveros will try, and this time he hits. And he's fired up about it. Back to a 6-point lead. Taylor for Crook, and now Crisafulli. Getting his hand on that was Horrocks, partially blocking it. Under 3 to play, 48-42. Falcons looking to slam the door shut on a big road victory in conference. Giving and going are Viveros and Mendoza. And now Messine for Mendoza, corner three, short. Dom has the board. Taylor with 2.5, lost in a fray, foul on the floor. Looking like the foul's on Maddox Mendoza. That is his 4th. Both teams will head into a timeout, which we will stay with you for. Carter, 2 minutes, 30 seconds left. I'm going to put you in both coaches' shoes. First, Bill Cuthbertson, what's the message?
Well, obviously you got to maintain this lead. You got a 6-point lead over the state champs. It's not something you get every day, and they just need to find a way to not let up any points. Dom Taylor and Caden Rehoboth are going to be huge down the stretch, and they've been doubling Dom Taylor almost every single possession throughout this second half. So for the Falcons, they really just have to find a way. How can we contain Rehoboth and Dom Taylor?
And now let's look at White on the other side. What's the Mendy's message?
Well, adversity has been a thing that this team has not faced a lot, but this season it's been a different story. Adversity is what's made them better. And with just a 6-point deficit, they have plenty of time to come back, and I think the Raiders can pull a win out here on this one.
Let's see what will happen. Only the players on the court can decide and answer our questions for us. Timeout coming to an end. 2 minutes and 29 seconds remain on the clock in this early season South Coast Conference varsity boys basketball matchup. Once again, so glad you could all join us tonight here on Somerset Access TV, Berkeley Community Access TV, and Blue Raider Studios on YouTube. You can continue to check us out all season long as we cover Somerset Berkley athletic events ranging from basketball to ice hockey. and much more to come in the spring and following fall. Crisafulli for Taylor, and now Rayum. Short. Horrocks has the board, and he'll get it away to Reedy. 2 minutes, 10 seconds. Mendoza, glued to by Crisafulli, travel. My, oh my, Maddox Mendoza is going to be having nightmares about these travels, Carter, for weeks to come.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been, even though they're up 6, those travels have been really costly and turning into turnover points. So Mendoza's really got to find a way to prevent those travels.
Getting his hand in the passing lane was Viveros. Trump ball call, and possession arrow will favor Dighton Rehoboth. Carter, you said earlier that the Raiders had enough time to make a comeback, but as this clock continues to tick down, they need to make sure that every offensive possession they get is a successful one in order to get back in this one.
Yeah, for sure, John. I mean, 6 points, 151 left. Lead changes always happen in basketball. It's the most constant thing you see, and the Raiders have a lot to come back from, but with the amount of talent they have on this team, I think they can pull it out.
Rayum out, J.J. Court in. An interesting decision for Mendes here, maybe a defensive-based substitution. Mendoza breaks through 2, driving. He gets the off-glass finish. Tough as nails is Maddox Mendoza.
Despite the travels, nothing's gotten to his head. He's been spectacular here tonight on the offensive side of the ball.
Dom Taylor for Ryan Crook for 3. Still no give from number 3 from 3. Maddox Mendoza and the Falcons looking to put the game to bed. Viveros outside, Josh Reedy, short. Crisafulli up the floor trying to feed Duker, and Reedy picked it off. What a play by Josh Reedy.
Great hustle play there by Josh Reedy. Despite the missed shot, he gets back on defense in a flash for the great steal.
Mendoza fouled as he headed toward the basket. It will be on the floor as Lambert checks back in. And this will bring us into another timeout. 50-42 Falcons, 1 minute and 6 seconds left. Carter, Sylvia, and I take one more brief pause. Well, Raider faithful, cross your fingers. 1 minute and 6 seconds left on the clock as we come out of yet another timeout here in a very closely matched fourth quarter inside the Veterans Memorial Gymnasium. Cole Viveros will inbound. Viveros in for Messine. DR, if they're smart, will try to kill clock. Viveros for Reedy. Raiders looking to go double team on the ball handler, and Reedy wrapped up by Lambert to stop the clock with 58.2.
Yeah, it's starting to become foul time for the Raiders here, really just trying to save any clock to get some offensive possessions.
Inbound to Mendoza, and he's fouled already. Sassman looking like he's about to check back in. He'll replace Crook. But Carter, should the Falcons hold on, this is a huge way for them to push their overall record to 5-3 if they can pull it off.
Yeah, this would be a huge win for the Falcons, and even though they've made a ton of mistakes here tonight, they've really played a great offensive game.
Raiders will foul again. As the Falcons continue to try and shave time off the clock. And take a look at this, Carter. It looks like the Dighton Rehoboth Falcons are lining up almost like a football team for this inbound. I don't think I've ever seen this before in the history of my broadcasting career. They get it into Mendoza on a short pass from Viveros, kind of a letdown from what we saw at the beginning, but nonetheless, they do end up making their way to this side of the court for free throws. That will be huge.
John, we know what we all wanted to see there was that deep pass that it's kind of very similar to Ted Lasso, and he lined up in a football formation in the show. So that was very interesting to see and very cool. And for the end of the game, that's a bold play there by the Falcons.
First one falls for Mendoza. And if he can make one more, he will give Dighton Rehoboth a 10-point advantage with under a minute to play. He got it. Raiders need a prayer, and quick. Lambert for Rayum. And now Crook for Taylor. Got waved off. Taylor traveled. And with 46.1 left, Dighton Rehoboth will inbound again. Inbound, going to Mello. He gets it to Reedy, who is fouled. And once again, a visiting opponent against a Raider athletic team, making it so quiet in a building that you can almost hear a pen drop.
Yeah, and here's Josh Reedy. This is to really, if he makes these both free throws, is to ice the game. And great job here by the Falcons here today.
And put some sprinkles on top from Josh Reedy there. An 11-point Falcon lead that, if I'm correct, is their largest of the night. And that would be their new largest, in fact. Reedy misses the second. Raiders gotta hurry. Dom Taylor from a long way won't go. Crook tried the putback. That's also gonna miss. And Mendoza is fouled after he gets the board. And Carter, I think for the Raiders, this game could serve in some ways as a wake-up call. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure, John. I mean, an opponent that you're definitely more talented than, but they game plan so well for you that they're able to come out with a W. Now, the Raiders played the Falcons again at DR, so this is a lot of time to prepare for them. And you're right, it is a wake-up call. You got to realize you're not the team you were last year or the team you were a couple games ago. You got to find a new path and find a new identity.
Dom Taylor from pretty much half court. And Mendes calls the timeout afterwards. It's down to a 9-point game. I don't even know what to say about that, Carter.
Yeah, it's just a Dom Taylor type of shot, and it's unfortunate that it's come this late in the game, but you got to respect the effort, and what a half-court shot there by Dom Taylor.
And another timeout that we will remain here with you for. Next time you will potentially see me is on Sunday when the Somerset Berkley, Dighton Rehoboth, Seekonk, and Case Hockey Co-op will take on Norton at the Amica Mutual Pavilion. That game will not be live broadcasted, but it will be tape delay feed available later on Somerset Access TV, Berkeley Community Access TV, and Blue Raider Studios on YouTube. And Carter, I'm sure you and your squad are looking forward to that game. You're going to get to play against some of your former teammates as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a great night there. 5:45, definitely a later game, but we should have a good time. We get to watch the Providence Bruins game before, which is always good. You get to watch some pro hockey before, and it's definitely going to be a good time, and especially on that ice surface, it's so large. You get to do a lot of cool stuff on there.
Raiders looking to do some cool stuff and pull off one of the greatest comebacks in school history. Mendoza is fouled as he sped through a thicket of Raiders. Fouls on Taylor. And Carter, if the Falcons just make their free throws the rest of the way. It's not really going to matter how much razzle-dazzle the Raiders put on in this last 26.7.
No, I mean, no matter how many half courts you can make, it's such a far deficit to come back from that. It makes it really hard, even though you got to respect the confidence that the Raiders have. I mean, Dom Taylor, just no matter the scoreline, that just to pull up from half court and make a shot, that shows what the type of team they are, even though they're losing.
Give Mendoza both. Dom Taylor again from half court. Almost made it. Josh Reedy the board. Josh Reedy is fouled as he crosses half court by Dom Taylor. It is 56-45 right now. With this win, Dighton Rehoboth's going to go to 5-3 on the season. They will be 4-2 in the SEC, and this loss drops the Raiders to 3-4 overall. They will be 2-3 in the South Coast Conference at the about quarter-way point of Chris Mendes' first term as head coach.
And I hope they use this game as a learning curve, that things didn't go your way. Turnovers and just overall, the momentum just didn't swing your way. But if the Raiders can figure out how to come back from this and become better, it will make their season a lot better.
Taylor yet again from alien range for three. He misses. Taylor will try once more and airball it. Maddox Mendoza looking to dribble out the clock, will lead pass it for Kensley Messine. He will dribble it out. And the Dighton Rehoboth Falcons have come in to the Veterans Memorial Gymnasium and handed Somerset Berkley a loss for the first time in a while, and a lot of credit has to be given to Josh Reedy.
Yeah, Josh Reedy played phenomenal along with Maddox Mendoza. Those two were the catalysts for the Falcons here today, and they were able to pull out the dub.
And Carter, after head coach Chris Mendes, I'm sure you have a lot of critiques and changes to make in regards to your squad and your methods going into the next contest.
Yeah, for sure, John. They got a lot to work on, but there's a long season ahead.
And that'll do it for us tonight from here inside the vet. For our entire crew, including my partner Carter Sylvia and our cameraman Brian Modis, I'm JJ Sylvia, wishing you a good rest of your night from here in Somerset.